Part three, and part three once again. What's up, 23% Nation? Your man, Coach D, is back with part three of Forgiveness Day. Now, we're talking about self-forgiveness in part three. Now, guys, self-forgiveness is probably the most difficult part of Forgiveness Day. And the reason why I think it's probably the most difficult is because some people simply believe that they do not deserve to be forgiven for their actions. Well, if you feel that way, Coach D is here to state the contrary. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone is worthy of self-forgiveness. Now, I do understand that for some people, it may be easy to ask for forgiveness. It may be even easier for you to forgive someone else. But then what about you? What about the person that you see in the mirror every single day? Are you still blaming yourself for something that you did 5, 10, 20 years ago? Are you still harboring anger, bitterness, and resentment towards yourself for something that you did yesterday, right? Well, it's time to release those low frequency emotions. It's time to vibrate higher. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and talk about the specifics of self-forgiveness. But before we do that, we have to quickly recap. Okay? Now, part two was all about us asking for forgiveness for something that we did to someone else, right? So maybe you were physically violent towards someone. Maybe you cursed out somebody. Maybe you became jealous or envious and did something out of spite. Well, ask for forgiveness. It's very, very easy. So remember, you had to write down the top 3 people, then narrow it down just to one person. You had to recall what happened. Then, of course, you had to address the individual. Now, you could have used the direct approach or the indirect approach. I'll leave that up to you. Remember, you had to take your pictures, post your pictures, and always answer the questions. Now, for part 3, I've actually created a separate video. So please watch the video. I give you a lot of great tips as to how to practice self-forgiveness. Now, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Also, I don't want to prolong this particular video by going into the specifics. So please, at your earliest convenience, watch that video because it'll give you a lot of tips and a lot of great advice as to how you can begin practicing self-forgiveness. Answer the questions, ladies and gentlemen. What lessons can you learn from practicing self-forgiveness? Also, consider the people and the places that you visit and also the people that you hang around in order to facilitate this concept of self-forgiveness. So the questions, once again, are meant for you to answer them. Why do you want to answer the questions? Because they will allow you to think critically about what it is you're practicing as well as what it is you are accomplishing. Pictures, pictures, and more pictures. We need pictures. Remember, guys, pictures are a form of teaching, right? So let's remember one of Coach D's favorite philosophies. Each one, teach one. So take the pictures, post the pictures, and please use the hashtag and titles that Coach D has provided. Now, there are some general questions that you definitely need to address. There are questions about forgiving. There are questions about asking for forgiveness. And last but not least, there are questions about practicing self-forgiveness. So once again, the purpose of the questions is to reinforce the lessons that you're learning. So please, try not to shy away from the questions. Try not to think that you don't have time to answer the questions. if you really want to get the full Monty of this lesson, you got to answer the questions. Go ahead. I have faith that you can do it. What's next? Coach D's tips. Now, 23% Nation, you know Coach D is full of advice and tips. So I'm going to help you out. Why? Because I want you to have a successful Forgiveness Day. Please remember, watch the video on practicing self-forgiveness, answer the questions, take and post your pictures, and please address the general questions. Feedback. We're always looking for feedback. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, write them in the comment box below. Ladies and gentlemen of the 23% Nation, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out, and always remember, I love you. Take care, and God bless.